and a big shout out to you because I know sir through a senior of mine, Mrs. Elizabeth Phillips, who was my husband's colleague in IT department and head office. And I think I've met sir in one or two social gatherings. Mr. Rajiv Gupta, Mrs. Nonita Agrawal, Dr. Anshul Gupta. Something about health insurance TPA. Health insurance TPA is wholly owned by and promoted by the general public sector general insurance companies in India, which are 4, and the GIC Re, which is the national reinsurer, and we come under the Ministry of Finance. And while the core business of a health insurance TPA is aiding, administering and helping people and their families during the most difficult times that they face during sickness and ill health, my company is also alert and empathetic to our duties and obligations to the society in which we work, operate, make our profits and live. And for looking after the corporate social responsibilities of my company, I have a very dedicated team of officials who are present here. Mr. Pradeep Srivastava, who's also the Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Alka Singhal, and Ms. Chetna Verma. My team networked and interacted and selected and finalized several CSR activities which covered a range of social issues and concerns at the global level. Just to give a small background, in 2015, the United Nations adopted the Sustainable Development Goals 2030, and these goals were a universal cry and a universal appeal for countries across the world to protect the environment, to protect the globe, to look after its people, and to make an effort that by 2030, all people in the world have peace and prosperity. Now, when we look at the SDG Goal 17, my team, who's part of which is sitting here, selected a few of the goals and we distributed our CSR activities over them. The first goal was good health and well-being. So we donated an AC eco vehicle to the Cancer Patients AIDS Association. We have sponsored the screening of 1,000 women for cancer. For education, we have sponsored for skill learning centers by providing laptops, other logistics and infrastructure to the less privileged children in Delhi. For climate action, again in cooperation with the Nav Jeevan Prayas Foundation, we provided air purifiers in 2 government-aided hospitals. Under clean air and sanitation, we provided and have built 3 washrooms for girls in a government school in Noida. This is also keeping in line with the cry of and the appeal of our Honorable Prime Minister towards Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao. So having good washrooms is a good incentive for girls to come to school. Then we have sustainable cities and communities. Under that, again, with the Nav Jeevan Prayas Foundation, we have given composters to 2 government-aided hospitals. And we have also contributed to the PM's Care Fund for combating the coronavirus and other similar pandemics which may come up. I would say that we have found very able and competent partners in the Nav Jeevan Prayas Foundation who helped us in carrying out 2 of our CSR activities about the air purifiers and the composters. The aim and objective of the Nav Jeevan Prayas Foundations are many, out of which 2 are to contribute towards betterment of society and curbing environmental degradation. Now, these 2 aims and objectives dovetail into the larger global targets of net zero and carbon neutrality. The Nav Jeevan Foundation also has the project of green institutions and environmental sustainability. Green institutions are organizations which are environmentally responsible. They use less water. They have optimized energy efficiencies. They have brought in procedures for waste management. They produce less waste. They conserve natural resources. And environmental sustainability is a responsibility which is put on every organization, every country, to have environmental friendly practices, to protect the global ecosystem, and to work for well-being and the good health of the people now and in future. So there is emphasis and a requirement on every corporate, every organization which works in this world to be environmentally responsible to the society, and the profits that they earn should be aligned to the planet and the people in which we live. Now coming to the composter that we have donated, this composter will be converting garbage to compost or fertilizer, or as the brochure of the Nav Jeevan Prayas Foundation says, turning garbage to gold. There will be financial benefits for some certain self-help groups and also to the cleaning staff who might make money out of this. Composting. Composting takes off the load from our garbage landfills. They help to reduce the air pollution which happens because of the fire in these landfills. One of them is raging and it is in the newspapers every day. It also helps to reduce the emission of the green gases, the greenhouse gases from these landfills. So in giving this composter, we are hoping that with the Deepchand Bandhu Hospital, we are making, my organization is making a small contribution towards a net zero or a carbon neutral world. Now just a few points on carbon neutrality and net zero. Carbon neutrality means achieving a situation where the amount of emission of carbon into the atmosphere is also removed from the atmosphere. So this carbon neutrality or net zero towards which the world is working will make the world a better place to be in and to live in. Talking about carbon neutrality again, every economy and every sector of the economy has to work towards abatement in the greenhouse gas emissions. Now, which are the greenhouse gas emissions? They are carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, nitrous oxide, and ozone. So to reduce these greenhouse gas emissions, one thing is moving from fossil fuel to alternative instruments or resources for generating electricity, like solar, wind, geothermal, hydro, etc. The government is encouraging production and use of electric vehicles. We talk about carbon footprints. Carbon footprint is the amount of carbon dioxide that any action of ours produces. Of all the industries in the economy, the transportation industry produces the maximum carbon footprint, which is a voluminous 47% of the total carbon footprint. That is why electric vehicles is the answer. Thirdly, what the insurance sector is doing. Many insurance companies and reinsurers are not providing insurance to companies which are producing carbon or using fossil fuels. So companies like NTPC and NHPC have to now convince insurers that they are reducing their carbon emissions in order to get an insurance or reinsurance from the global reinsurers. So on that point, I would like to end my conversation with you and to say that the composter that we have donated as part of a CSR activity is a very small gesture, not something very big, but as they say that every drop of water, every grain of sand, helps to make the mighty ocean and the pleasant land. So these small contributions that we have made and will continue to make will help in bringing down the greenhouse gas emission and help us to reach the net zero position. And I'm thankful to ma'am for accepting our small donation. And with that, I would like to thank you all for giving me your time and your ears. Thank you.